What is the energy around you this week, Taurus? What's happening in your little corner of the world? I'm Lisa, this is Rooted Souls Tarot, and I thought we'd have a little bit of a look at what's going on with you for this week using this lovely Witches Tarot deck. We'll find some cards to give us the general energy, and then we'll go a little bit deeper with our lovely Light Seers Tarot deck, and we'll check out what's happening. So, 5 cards, got one out already. The Knight of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and one more, the King of Wands. Okay, so your general energy, the general theme for you this week, Taurus. We've got the Knight of Cups. Taking action towards the things that make you happy, towards happiness. It could be in a love kind of situation, or it could just be generally happiness. What makes you happy? Whatever it is, you're moving towards that this week. The Four of Cups, I think maybe there's a sort of a feeling of maybe losing your mojo, maybe not quite feeling it, feeling a little bit frustrated that maybe, you know, you've not got the things in front of you that maybe you need to bring you this happiness, and just a little bit of stagnant energy around you this week. We've also got that Four of Pentacles there, and he's holding on to something too tightly, holding on to his pentacles too tightly. So again, this stagnant energy, this blockage of some description, needing to release, needing to maybe look at the bigger picture, or look at the opportunities that are coming your way, rather than sort of, you know, feeling like there's no way out. There's options. You've got options, more options than you think this week. Seven of Cups, bringing one of your dreams down into reality. So I'm hoping that you're gonna have the opportunity to do that. We've got the Four of Cups. Obviously, we've got 3 cups that are overturned, 1 cup that's being offered to you, and I'm hoping that's going to give you the opportunity to actually bring one of your dreams, one of your wishes, turn it into reality, bring it down to earth. So I've got the King of Wands there, and he's all about taking action. He's confident, he's strong, he's powerful, he's not afraid of making difficult choices. And so by the end of this week, I think you're going to have shifted the energy around you into that energy, so that you are ready to actually make decisive movement forward. So let's have a little bit of a closer look with our Light Seers deck. We'll look at some past energy and see what's been happening in the past, because as we know, our recent past reflects and influences what's going on in the current energy and what's going on in the future. So don't forget, if you like the reading, I'd love it if you could give me a thumbs up. If it resonates on any level, I'd love to know know why, if you're feeling brave enough to share how you feeling this week, what's the energy around you. And also, if you fancy becoming a subscriber and becoming part of this little community that I'm trying to grow here, then that would be amazing too. It'd be really lovely to have you. Right, we've got the Three of Swords, the World, the Knight of Cups, another Knight of Cups. Then we have the Eight of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Wheel. So there's been big shifts and big changes beginning. The beginning of change, definitely, in your recent past. In your far recent past, we have got this Three of Swords clarified with the Eight of Swords. So there's been a situation in your recent past where you have been feeling quite sad, quite maybe even heartbroken. Obviously, it's a general reading, so small for some, big for others, and on a sliding scale in between for everybody else. But there's definitely been a feeling of upset, of pain, like I say, maybe even as strong as the word heartbreak for some of you. And I think this has been perpetuated by your brain, basically. I think, you know, the Eight of Swords, she's in a prison there of her own making. Her bindings are loose, her blindfold's loose, she can walk away at any point, but she's choosing to stay in this self-perpetuating circle of stress and anxiety and maybe even pain. So I think there's definitely been a shift with that feeling. I mean, you know, it is in throughout life, there's different circumstances in different parts of life where we experience this sense of loss, this sense of pain and grief and hurt and sadness. And it's very much about mindset, about how we shift, how quickly we can shift out of it and how we shift out of it. And I think maybe you've been in that sort of that circle, this, you know, cycle of thoughts where you found it really difficult to get out of that situation. And, you know, for me, the solution to the Eight of Swords is communication. It's to get it outside of you. You know, all these thoughts rattling around in your brain that aren't doing you any good, that are just, you know, they're just evolving and changing and you know, often they end up being a completely different version of what's the actual of the reality of it, that it is. So the solution is to get it outside of your head, whether that is writing it down, whether that's actually just saying it out loud to yourself, whether that is having a chat with a friend or somebody you can talk to be able to then get these thoughts outside of you, have a little bit of a look at them outside, and then actually you're looking at them from a different perspective and you're able to make more sense of them. So hopefully you've been able to do that. But I do think that you've shifted and you've broken that cycle, because we have got the world. A brand new cycle's beginning. So whether you have felt like you have been in a painful loop of grief, of heartbreak, of loss, of sadness, that cycle, that loop has been broken. We're shifting into a brand new cycle. It's the last card in the Major Arcana. So you have been through all of the other cards in the pack. You've learnt knowledge, you've learnt wisdom, you've gained insight, you've got information from everything that's happened over the last cycle of your life. And now it's time to move on, to pick yourself up, to move yourself forward, and to take everything that you've learned in that last cycle to help you to move onwards, to be of use in the next cycle of your life. And, you know, as we get older, we get wiser. It's, you know, well, some of us do. And, you know, if we learn from our mistakes, if we gain wisdom and all of those things, then we're able to then shift on to the next cycle. I think the only time when we don't do that and we're in like constant cycles of the same things happening is when we don't learn. We've not learned our lessons from that cycle, and then it's very difficult to move on. We have to go through them all over again. So hopefully you've learned from the last cycle in your life and you're moving onwards now as this wiser person, this more informed person, this more insightful person into the next cycle of life. And now you're going into the next cycle. Things are starting to feel better. Six of Swords, moving into calmer waters, moving into a more peaceful place mentally, a place that's only going to get better. That's, you know, you're on the home straight of things really starting to feel less stressful, less anxious, less, you know, anxiety ridden. So that's it, all in your recent past. So I'm hoping that you're starting to feel a little bit better in some way. And don't forget, like I say, this is going to be small for some, big for others, because, you know, it's a general reading. So again, we've got that Knight of Cups. So 2 Knights of Cups. You are moving towards your happiness, towards the things that make you happy. You're taking action. You obviously know where your happiness lies. It's always a winner when we actually have our end goal in sight. And I think you have. I think you know what you want, and you're really working towards making that happen. We've got the wheel there, the Wheel of Fortune. So the wheel is shifting. Things are starting to move. You've obviously been putting energy into changing things, into, you're being proactive with that Knight of Cups, moving towards your happiness. And as we put energy into things, as we start to change things, start to change the way we think, the things that we do, our day-to-day routine, we start to move things. Because, life is meant to change. That's, it's the one consistent thing in life, change. And things are shifting to the better, for the more positive for you, Taurus. Things are starting to get better. You're in a brand new cycle. For a lot of people over the last few months, or even this last year and the end of last year, there's been a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of things happening that are meaning that we are starting new cycles, that we're beginning new journeys, new paths. So, and I definitely think you are on yours. So, current energy. Current energy, what have we got going on this week with you? Let's have a little bit of a look. Right. 5 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the High Priestess. Then we've got the Knight of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Ooh, potential new love coming your way if you would like it, Taurus. I do have this feeling of feeling quite stuck and a little bit in a low vibration this week. That lack of motivation, that not quite wanting to release certain things and to move forward. The energy feels quite stagnant, despite the fact that you have begun to shift things. We've got this 5 of Pentacles there. The 5 of Pentacles is fear of lack. Feeling like, or perceived lack, feeling like you are lacking in something. Sometimes there's a solution to it. It's a 5, there's generally a solution. But I think that's what's making you feel, I think, quite stuck and quite lacking. Your mojo's lacking, because you're feeling like you're missing something. Something's missing. You've not got something. You've not got what you need to move forwards in the way that you want to. We've got Knight of Wands clarifying that, and that's taking action, moving forwards towards your joys, passions, the things that light your fire, the things that make you happy. And so I feel like you're definitely feeling held back at the moment, and things are feeling quite stagnant. I'm hoping that's going to shift for you, because, looking forwards into the rest of the cards. We've got the Ace of Wands as well. Obviously, that's your shift coming. So, your extra cup in the 4 of Cups, the cup that's being offered to you. The Ace of Wands, new opportunity to new stuff coming in, basically, that's going to bring you that joy, bring you that passion, make you feel reignited. And it could well be in the form of a person. We've got the 2 of Cups there, the 2 of Cups, or it could be a choice. It could be a decision or a fork in the road that you've got to make. Do you want to go this way towards happiness, that way towards happiness? Or towards your passions, your joys. Or it could just be somebody coming in that's going to help you to reignite your passion, that's going to help you to find your way, to set yourself off in the direction that you want to come in. But there's a person, I think, for a lot of you, for a huge chunk of you, involved in this. Some of you, it's going to be new potential love partner. For others, it's going to be that you are just reigniting your connection with this person. And for other ones of you, it's going to be choice. Which choice do I need to make? Which fork in the road do I need to take to move towards my passion? And this is something that you've just got to connect with yourself. The High Priestess, she's very psychic. She's very connected to her divine self, to her higher self. She's connected to her intuition. She works and moves through her intuition. She's very introspective. She's very deep. Really emotional, connected to her emotions, but she very much moves through life connected to her intuition and making choices based on that. And I think that is literally where you are going to find yourself very shortly. is really connecting. If you've not already, you know, spend time connecting to yourself, reconnecting to your deep self, to your true self, and use that to help you to move forwards. We've got that clarified with the Ace of Cups. So potential new happiness here, something that's going to bring you happiness moving on. It's a really, really nice set of cards, this current energy that you're in. So, you know, it may well be that you started out the week feeling that lack, feeling frustrated and lacking in motivation to move forwards, and maybe feeling quite stuck in energy. But then everything's going to start and you're going to get an opportunity coming your way that's going to open things up. Which choice do you make? You know, if there's a choice for you, or, you know, or is it going to be new love? I'd love to know in the comments. Please let me know. I always like to get a little bit of feedback. I always like to know what's going on with you if you feel like sharing. Okay, right. Moving forwards into the future, we've got the Six of Wands. The Sun. Wow. The Magician. The Eight of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Wow. It's looking good for you, Taurus. Looking really good. The Six of Wands. Being noticed. And this future energy is one. It's really looking really quite bright, really looking lovely. But I think you are starting to be noticed. We've got that Six of Wands there. See, she's in the spotlight. She's being applauded, and I think this is very much an energy that's going to come out of nowhere. So I think whether it is that you are being noticed by a significant other, a potential love partner, whether you're being noticed by your boss, whether your business is being noticed, whether you are being noticed by, you know, somebody that's going to be important in the future, there's definitely you've been seen. You have been seen, and this is something that's a little bit like that's come from nowhere, and maybe it's going to be quite a bit of a shock to you that you have been noticed in a good way, in all the best ways. Just drawn up here back to that Seven of Cups about bringing your dreams down to reality. I think whatever this is connected to this. It's connected to your dreams, your hopes, dreams, wishes. So whether it is that you've been pouring all your energy into growing an online business or a YouTube channel, or you know, you've finally been noticed by that person that you like. There's something that's connected to what you have been hoping for, what you have been dreaming about, what's maybe the vision that you've had for the future for yourself, involving your future happiness. So next card we've got is the Sun. The Sun is obviously a card of abundance, of happiness, of the light shining on you in all the best possible ways. A card of happiness, contentment, of love. So I think this shift, this movement towards your hopes and dreams, your future happiness, it's going well for you. It's going well for you, Taurus. The sun is definitely shining down on you. You've got that Nine of Pentacles. You're on your way. You are feeling abundant. You're feeling like you've got what you need, all the energy and the efforts and all of the work that you've been putting into your situation, your pursuit of happiness. It's bringing you the benefits, bringing you the rewards, and you're feeling them. And you know, it's the sun shining on you. It doesn't get pretty much better than that. So I think your future is looking extremely lovely, very warm and sunshiny for you, Taurus, this next week. And like I said, the future energy, it's for the next, sort of by the end of the week, and then bleeding outwards and into the future. So wherever that takes it. We've got the Magician there and the Seven of Pentacles. So you are a magical being. You are, by the end of this week, you are going to be feeling quite powerful. Your manifesting skills and your manifesting power is going to be spot on. But I think you need to be discerning, really discerning about what you want to attract to you. I think Seven of Pentacles, it's all about weighing up what's good for you and what's not, what's worth putting your energy into, worth putting your manifesting powers into. Is it going to bring you back the rewards that you want, that you expect? So I think a little bit of discernment and a little bit of a rethink of the vision, or just a clarification of your vision for the future for yourself is needed before the end of this week, really. And then I think this is going to sort of flow the way that it needs to into the future in the most best possible ways. Obviously, King of Wands, really taking action, not being afraid to make choices and make decisions that are going to benefit you in the future. He's very entrepreneurial, of course, and he's very confident. So I think for you, Taurus, despite the fact the energy might feel a little bit sluggish midweek or up to midweek, I think once that happens and you sort of get that breakthrough of the Ace of Wands, I think things are going to start flying forwards and things are going to start shifting forwards. And I think it's going to be happening so quickly that you've really just got to make sure that the vision that you're working towards is the one you want, and it's the one that's going to be worth it for you. Obviously, that reassessment, that just double checking that the things that you're wanting to bring into your life are going to be beneficial for you, and it's going to be worth putting your energy into. So I'll leave it at that. Have a really great day. Look after yourself, take care of yourself. More importantly, stay rooted, stay open and stay magical, because you are flipping magical this week. You've got that magician there. The power is all yours. You have got the tools you need to move forwards in life however you want to. You are powerful. So take care of yourself. Catch up with you soon.